good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, not too bad, Michael. Thanks for sending your resume and setting this time aside here so we can talk real quick.
Yep.
How's the weather in California
Well,
today?
yesterday it was hot. I had to turn the AC on, so.
Oh, yeah, we've here in we're in Arvada, Colorado, and we've had a couple times where we've had to turn the AC on, but then most recently it's been raining here the last week and a half. I heard we had like 5 inches of rain here in the last few days, so it's been a lot for us, and been nice and cool for sure, and been nice for the grass to grow.
Yeah, same here in California. We've been drenched.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, nice.
yeah, I just came back from Vancouver and it was hot. It was an oven. It was 90 degrees.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I was supposed to go hiking in Whistler, which is, you're probably familiar with the ski resort.
Yeah.
And that was hot. They had a heat alert, so.
What?
Yep, because it's too hot. They don't want people to hike.
Wow.
At 90 degrees Fahrenheit which is 30 degrees C, which is really hard to do because there's no shade, and then they got the fires now too from Alberta swinging over there, so you smell a little bit of smoke, not much, but the reason, I'm thanks for calling me, and I wanted to ask about the structural engineer position in Sacramento.
Yes. Uh huh.
Okay, I thought,
I,
sorry.
what I'll probably do is, schedule a time for you and the hiring manager, Bradley Woldrup. He's our, what would he be, like our transportation group leader, I think is his title, and he's a structural engineer. Where is Bradley out of?
Sacramento, I think.
Okay. Do you know Bradley?
I know of him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know him personally. I know of him.
Great guy. Great. I love. He's so helpful, so nice. You're gonna enjoy your conversation. But I guess what I was trying to get at is, as far as the technical, the project, and all that, he's the one that can kind of fill you in on that. I just wanted to kind of meet you and see what your current situation is and what you're looking for and all that. And I'll pass that along, and then
Yep.
look at both of your calendars here and see if I can't get a time to do a Microsoft Teams meeting.
Yeah.
Um,
My situation. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay. My situation is one of my clients passed away. So I'm looking for another position. I don't want to go into doing the consulting on my own because, it's tiresome,
yeah,
and I'm looking for stability. That's really important for me. I don't want to keep, looking for jobs every year or 2 or 3 years. I want to, just stay in one place and be very loyal to my boss.
yeah,
That's really, really important. I don't want to keep, switching jobs because I feel it sets me back because I have to learn new ways of doing stuff over and over and over again. That's not good for anybody because it
yeah.
wastes money, time and money. Where
Were
somebody that's
you with the same person all of those years?
for 5 years I was, yeah, he passed
5 years.
away
Darn.
during the
Did you see that coming?
No, he never told me about his health.
Oh,
And one day I came in and he didn't come in. Nothing worked. You know.
shoot.
Yeah, and he had.
Cancer or something?
I'm thinking that, yeah, because he was tired. And then during the pandemic, his business stalled because we did soft story retrofits in San Francisco where they fixed the bottom floors of apartment buildings so they don't collapse in earthquakes. And when the pandemic hit, San Francisco put a moratorium on those projects.
Oh,
So when you do these projects, the landlord has to put the tenants up in a hotel, and all the hotels were shut down.
oh, oh, shoot. I never thought about that.
Yeah, they have to pay for the hotel, which is a lot of money, and they didn't set that up. They couldn't keep the hotel open, so.
I saw, forget the name, it was a show that we were watching the other day with my wife, isn't it, were talking about, I think it was a facility in San Diego that would take like buildings and that, and you could build it at life size, and it was able on these tables to shake it.
Oh, that's UC San Diego. That's the shake table. I'm very familiar with that. Yeah.
Oh, that was really cool. I couldn't believe it. It was really neat. And they, of course, were showing, I think, in Japan and in those areas too, where they have other tables and that like that to be able to shake their homes and make sure it can withstand so much of an earthquake. But yeah, really neat. So have you got to put stuff on there to test it out?
No, they have to pay money for it.
Oh.
Companies pay big money to do this research. Usually, it's companies in the federal and the governments usually chip in.
Interesting. Yeah, and then we're talking about some nuclear power plant that someone kind of fibbed about the fault line and how it went through there and
Yep.
and how scary it is. But now there's such a need for power in California and that they keep on finding ways to keep it open just a little bit longer.
Well, yeah. Well, in California we have solar, so which has helped, because they've powered the grid off solar and wind, and some hydroelectric, not much, but they're trying to get away from nuclear as much as they can. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be smaller plants.
Oh, gotcha.
If they figure out how to do it in such a smaller scale where it produces the power, massive power, I wouldn't have a problem with it, because as long as you self-contained it, as long as you have a massive dome like San Onofre, which is the big nuclear plant which they shut down.
Well, you know that stuff way more than I do. I'm sure you.
Well, it's been on the news, so that's how I know that one.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Anyway, I kind of went off tangent there, but yeah, it was really interesting, and I'm sure like yourself, and you've been there probably to see it.
I've driven by it. Actually, it's right off Interstate 5. You see it. You can't miss it.
Okay. Neat.
Yep. So.
Okay. So, finding a role or employer where you have stability, long-term employment is kind of what you were
that, and also having the good projects, and also not being overworked.
Okay.
I don't want to have like 10 projects going on at the same time, because I've had that in the past. Because what happens is when you have too many of the projects, they go down. Your quality of work drops, because now you've got to keep track of them all. And that, for me, is hard, when there's so many of them. You're going to miss something. It's just the way it is. Human beings don't remember every little thing.
Yeah.
I gave up trying a long time ago.
What's the sweet spot as far as, juggling project? Like a few, or what?
For me, it's like 2 or 3. It depends what size they are, too.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
You don't want to say the number of them, because, I've done bigger projects, and, some of them, like if it's a really big one, I like to keep my, hands on the steering wheel, because if you miss something, some of them, like when I reviewed buildings a long time ago, it's keeping track of all the information, because you don't want to start and stop and start and stop.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would stay late just because I didn't want to lose what I was keeping track of. But then I've had some bosses that are like, no, you can't do that. It's over the 8. It's like, why can't I take the time off a little later,
Yeah.
Because I don't want to lose it. And for me, I have to, I don't want to lose sleep over it either, Because some people have sleep disorders over it. There's a book on it where this reporter from GMA wrote about it called The Sleep Fix, and she talks about that. It's a real good book. You got to read it. It's been out for, I think, 2 years now.
Is it geared towards engineers or?
No, everybody.
Everybody.
She was the morning anchor for Good Morning America, and she was having sleep disorders.
Huh.
And she wrote this book and put basically all the knowledge is put in one place.
What was her name?
Diane Macedo.
Okay, yeah, I think I do recognize that.
Yeah, if you've seen, she has an Instagram page called The Sleep Fix Method.
Huh.
on Instagram. But anyway, let's get back to Ardurra.
Right. Yeah.
I guess you guys are growing really fast. Are you guys gonna?
Yeah. So I came in October. I had a buddy Eric that I worked with in the early 2000s, and he had called me over just talking about the work and the need for talent acquisition, because we have, they're saying, like 18 months of work backlog. I've been here since October. If I didn't say that, is when I started. So just over, what is that, 6 months? But yeah, my region I support is California, Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico is what I focus on. And like Eric, he works on the east, region, and then there's another Sean Renee. She works on central, and yeah. But anyway, yes, a lot of growth and stability, and that was a big part of me coming over. Not that I wasn't stable in the recruiting I was doing, but I didn't want to make a move for just anything, and going back into engineering, environmental, water, wastewater, and those areas. I knew, infrastructure, money would be there, and they would continue to have a need. So
Yeah.
That's a big part of why I made the transition, and also just the culture, the environment, the people, just good energy, and that's kind of what Eric had kind of sold me on, and he did not lead me wrong there. Just great. Well, I mean, you haven't met Bradley yet, but you'll see. It is like just a good energy, and they're not all trying to be vice presidents and big titles. They're all just engineers that want to do good work and enjoy what they're doing. Is how it feels.
Yep, that's what I'm looking for actually, because I'm not into the money thing, because I've heard people say you don't make money in engineering, you just service the projects and that's it. And one of the clients I worked for cared more about the money than the projects. Now they're sitting in litigation,
Oh, oh man.
trying to figure that, that they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have a question. Who's doing Washington State? 'Cause I see you have locations in Washington State too.
That would be Lacey.
Okay, I didn't.
She's another recruiter.
Okay, because I'm licensed in Washington as well. I'm licensed in Colorado, California, Washington. And I didn't put it on the resume, Texas. And the reason Texas isn't on there is because I don't practice there. In Texas, you can deactivate the license.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to go through and take the test. And Texas requires continuing education. Well, in my case, I wasn't practicing there, so it wouldn't do me any good,
Yeah. Now, I noticed you had Colorado.
Yep.
Did you do projects here?
Yeah, I did.
What, what
I was a reviewer, basically, so it was the Denver Metro.
Oh, okay.
Denver Metro area.
Yeah, there's starting to be, I've heard some more talk of different projects here in Colorado. There's, I think, like 4 of us that sit here now. We don't have an office here, though, but I can see that we will in the future, I would bet.
Well, Colorado's got big water problems.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
They're big on their water in Colorado, because it comes from the mountains, and so they got to make sure that infrastructure works. And it's a growing state, so that's the other thing.
Oh my God, is it ever? Well, it's nothing like what you deal with in California, but just the cost of everything is so much. And these houses, like, we've lived here, 11 years, and we couldn't afford this house, if we were to sell it and try and buy it again, no way.
No.
It's just a shame.
Yep. I have a question. I have a question about what's going on in California. I guess, where's the growth in California for this company?
Where is the growth?
Yeah, I mean, what business sectors?
Yeah, I mean, as far as where I have a lot of work right now, I'll just pull up well, let me look here. El Segundo, I have quite a lot. Newport Beach.
Yep.
You apply to our Sacramento opening, I believe it is.
Yeah, I didn't know if certain firms have certain hubs, and I didn't know what
Yeah.
that hub did because I've seen firms. What happens is they will sub it out to different offices. Don't have the expertise, so they work share.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like in Arizona, for instance, I have a hard time finding individuals in Flagstaff, let's say, and so I'll hire a designer or engineer that sits in Phoenix, and the cost of living, and they have flooding and all that from all their snow and this and that. So we'll do that for sure in Arizona, and I'm sure we do in California, but I haven't heard it as much as I have with in our Arizona offices, just because it's hard to get people in these smaller communities in the mountains there in Phoenix. But yeah, Poway also I
Yep.
have quite a bit going on in the
Yep.
San Diego area.
Yep. Yeah, they got water problems in San Diego.
Yeah, and then
I don't know if you know what's going on with
did,
Orange County.
Say that again.
Orange County in Southern California, water is a big problem.
Yeah.
So
that's
they
right,
are
for
taking
sure.
sewage and turning it into drinking water now.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they got desalination now, which is the other big thing.
Got to get to take salt water and move it into fresh water, correct?
Yeah. Well, they done it in Carlsbad. What is it, man?
What kind of dog do you have?
This is a mini poodle
Uh,
with a little bit of Pomeranian.
We have a what do you call it? A golden doodle.
Oh,
First,
cool.
our
How
first
old?
Poodle. She's 2.5. Big dog. We were thinking going back to put a Shih Tzu, and then we decided to look at a rescue for golden retrievers, and then and then they asked us if we were interested in a puppy, and during COVID, of course, and it was really difficult to get animals. We had to put down our dog during that, and
Wow.
yeah, we ended up getting a
Do you,
golden doodle. She's
do you
like
drive?
50-some pounds.
Do you take your dog to places?
Yeah. She loves to go in the car, and we.
Do you have a car harness?
We do. Yeah.
It's specifically rated for crashes. Don't get the cheap one.
Okay, I don't know. I don't remember how much it was.
Petco will have it.
Who?
Petco?
Petco. Yeah.
They will fit it because they want to be sure it fits the dog.
We also have one of those. What do you call it? Like it hooks on the back of the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and then it hooks onto the back of the.
Yep, the hook. Yep, the tart. Yeah, that's the right one. The tart one. Yeah, you got the right one then.
Okay. Yeah, she loves to get out and go, but she really likes. We have an equestrian trail just over the hill here where we can kind of let her loose and she can just run around, and she's really good with obeying and coming and all that.
Where do you go? Where do you go to Seattle to go to dog parks?
Oh yeah. We do have those around.
Yeah, I know, but Seattle they have one that's a nature trail. You put the dog in it, and the dog goes around running around the nature trail.
Oh really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, my dog loved it. You can't get in there. And then the other places, Vancouver, BC's big on their dogs too. You see a lot of dogs everywhere.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's where I was. But anyway, let's back to the company basically. So I know you guys are Are you going to be acquiring more companies in the future?
Yeah, I think it's always on their mind in growth and areas like, let's say, where we can't find the talent. They'll look at different companies that kind of fit the culture, and they try to not bring in a company where they have to let people go. They want them to feel like they can be part of Ardurra and fit. So that's one thing I have seen in the time I've been here is they've taken, like Beverly, she's the HR business partner that I work with. I think she was doing more recruiting in that with TO engineering, and now she moved away from the recruiting side and more into the HR side to help with all the onboarding and benefits and all that when we hire people. And so answer your question, I don't know of anything right now, but yes, it's always I think something that they're kind of keeping an eye out if it makes sense, and as long as it's a good match for both parties. It's kind of what I feel, but you can you'll talk to Bradley, and I don't know if I can get you with others too, but you'll kind of, I think, get a sense of that, and you can ask them too their point of view on it. But
yep.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm seeing. I just had a water I think it was in the flow group in Temecula.
Yep.
Just added that position yesterday, but I haven't had a lot of opportunities in our Temecula office or the Bakersfield office. I haven't really seen, but yeah, that's kind of where I've seen.
Yeah, Temecula is wineries.
Oh yeah,
and a little bit about Abbott Labs has offices there.
Oh, okay.
And so it's basically a bedroom community for San Diego because San Diego's real expensive. So a lot of people like to live there.
Oh, okay. And you live in?
I live in San Jose, so I'm near your office. The closest office is 1735 North First, which is real close to me.
Oh, nice.
So
how long would that take for you to commute?
Not too long, because I live in San Jose. I'm on the east side of San Jose, so it doesn't take long, because it's actually on the way to Costco.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your guys' traffic is crazy. I think Colorado is bad, but then whenever I visited California, it kind of puts me in a reality check.
LA does. Yeah, LA does.
Yeah.
Vancouver's really bad too. That's another one. Trans-Canada 1, and then I've driven it. They have a tunnel that goes underwater. Tunnel goes underground, and they flip it basically because they don't have enough lanes. So you could be sitting in traffic for 45 minutes waiting to get through the tunnel.
That would be horrible.
Oh, I did it once. I would not do it again. And then when I came back, Vancouver doesn't quite have the freeway system LA does, but basically you have to get off to go into. There's only two ways into the city, and both of them are packed.
Oh man, yeah. We just traveled with our son and family over to England, and we did that tunnel over to France.
Yep.
That was pretty slick, and we were on that high-speed train, though. It wasn't like we were driving through it. But, you never even really thought about it. But I had seen where they had trains break down and they had to hike out of there and stuff. I was like, oh, that would kind of suck. But yeah, I haven't been up to Vancouver, so.
Yeah, add that to your list.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just hoping that the interview goes well. How soon are they looking to fill this Sacramento position?
I think it really is about the person and the good fit. It can happen really quick, or you can take a little bit too. He's not really rushing, but I think the two of you will hit it off. You both are into the structural thing, and I mean you can tell that you're into it. And whenever you talk to Bradley, he kind of pokes fun at himself just how much he does love it. But yeah, I guess let me pull up his calendar really quick. As far as days and times, this week looks pretty booked, but next week, how does your next week look?
Let me look on my calendar here because I have it here on the tablet. So
okay,
let me get to that. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm pretty much wide open next week,
How about, if it's up to date, how about 10 o'clock on Tuesday?
Of next week?
Pacific time, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fine, yeah.
Okay. I'll double check with Bradley too, or if this hasn't been updated, I'll reach back out to you, but I'll send you both an invite.
Yep.
And then I'll attach your resume, and workload and work-life balance and all of that.
Yeah, I have a question for you. What is the salary range for the position? California in Colorado, where you are, in Washington State's another one. In New York City, they have to. If I ask for it, you have to give it to me, just so you know.
Yeah, and if you read the description, it's right there.
Okay.
Yeah, it has kind of a big range depending on the experience, but 90 to 130K is what they listed.
Yep. Can that go higher based on the person's experience or not?
I mean, I wouldn't say never, but that's what they had posted.
Yep.
But I guess, may I ask, where have you been as far as
I've been
salary?
in the
What are you looking
150s
for?
actually.
Okay. And that's what you're looking for is 150?
I'm negotiable. I want to see what the whole package is first because there could be other benefits.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I don't know what you guys pay for health insurance and stuff like that. So that's why I called a floating target for that reason.
Yeah, no problem.
Because you could have a very good salary, but then pay a ton for the health insurance.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't say our insurance is amazing, but it's not bad either. Let's see. Right now we're using my wife's health insurance, and we're using Ardurra's dental insurance is what we're using. But yeah, just what is? I think it's Cigna is. Well, it is for dental. I know it is, and it probably is for the medical too. I'll go ahead. I'll send you our benefits so you can kind of check those out too, so you kind of know.
Yep.
And but yeah, all in all, I would say that they have good benefits, and then they just added like the Friday after Thanksgiving, an extra holiday there for I guess younger parents and that either are adopting or having children. They just gave us like 2 weeks of paid time off, which was kind of nice. We're done with that, but for newer parents, that would be a good thing. And I've known a couple employees that have taken advantage of that already. What else? 401k. There's a few percent match there. But yeah, I mean the standard kind of benefits, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, cool. Well, let me. I'll get this on both of your calendars, and then why don't we see? We'll catch up after that, and kind of get your gut feel on how the projects in that match up to your background and what you're looking for, and kind of take it from there. Does that sound good?
That sounds good. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day.
Yeah. Thank you. And we'll just talk here soon. I guess. Oh, one other question I didn't think to ask. Where are you as far as your search? How soon are you looking to start?
I'm looking as soon as possible, actually. Because I'm over the mourning, his death, and I just want to get going.
Okay.
And everybody mourns differently. Mine is I just want to work, because it blocks the death, so to speak. So right now I'm doing night school too. I just graduated with my certificate program. I'm still doing some coursework here and there, just keeping on top of things for because the structural stuff for the past 20 years that I learned is out of date, really. A lot of the new stuff.
Where do you see most of the change from?
Well, a lot of the lateral systems that they're newer ones, and I didn't have any experience with them, because they weren't around when I was in college. All they had it was real simple back in the mid '90s. It was real simple.
Yeah.
Now there's all sorts of different systems now, and shock absorbers weren't around yet like they are now.
Oh yeah.
Because we have earthquakes here.
And is that what you were doing in the basements of those apartments and that?
No. Actually, we didn't. That would be too expensive to do for those. So it's a lot of moment frames, plywood walls, concrete walls, brace frames.
Okay.
They wouldn't get a BRBF because it would just be too expensive.
Yeah.
And the contractor that I was working with had trouble with the prefabricated parts because once he buys them, he owns them.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's why he didn't specialize like in the Simpson frames they make now.
Huh. Interesting. Always evolving and changing,
Yeah.
which is good, especially in your part of the country. You know, there's a lot of those earthquakes and such. But
Yeah, well, it has gotten better because we don't see as much damage to buildings as we used to.
interesting. Well, cool. Okay, so ASAP. And do you have any offers right now? Where
Yeah, I've got offers,
Okay.
so it's got to be real quick.
Oh, okay. What? When do you need to reply to those offers?
Within a week or two here, so I've got to figure out what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay. And do you like those companies that you have the offers from? Or
I always compare because I always like seeing the whole package first.
Okay.
And different types of work. I really research my companies. It's different types of work and things like that. You know, what will I be doing? Because it's not just about the money necessarily, because I don't want to be doing, you know, TIs the whole time, you know.
Okay.
I don't want to be doing that. I want to be doing, having a mix is good for me, you know. Having variety is good for me because I don't want to be stuck in one type and then have to, you know, look again because I got bored of a type, you know.
Right.
With soft story retrofits, yeah, when I was doing those, there wasn't one specific one. You know, it depends on the building itself.
Is waiting till Tuesday going to put you in a hard spot?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's always good to learn about the companies.
Okay. I was
Because,
just going to ask Bradley if he can get you in sooner if you really were in a bind. But
yep,
if you think Tuesday's not a big deal, then
yep, yeah. I'm going to take you out. So.
all right. But I'll let you get back to it. But I do really appreciate your time and thank you for the education and that. And we'll put this on your calendar here in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye. And that was Ardurra calling. The phone number was, yes, Mia, 720-920-9657. 720-920-9657. Thank you.